The first card you have for your past is the Five of Swords. So, yeah, I'm just getting this frustrating feeling around this. Frustration, I'm feeling. Frustration, a lot of frustration. The man on this card, obviously, he's very greedy. He's taken someone's swords and the others are just walking away. They've had enough of him. And he's making someone cry and everything like that. Horrible man. So I'm seeing this frustration around this. I'm getting this feeling of you wanting to communicate, wanting someone to actually listen to you. I'm seeing that you wanted a decision to be made about something and you were trying to talk to someone about this, but they kind of weren't giving you what you wanted. They weren't communicating properly. I'm just seeing these frustrating conversations kind of going around and around and around in circles, and they never actually get anywhere, if that makes sense. It's kind of, you have the same conversation going over and over. And you were trying to make a decision. In these conversations. You wanted to come to some kind of conclusion, but it wasn't happening. It just wasn't happening. It just didn't get anywhere. And this person might have been stalling you, actually, just letting it go on and on without coming to any end or anything like that. It was very, very frustrating. And I'm seeing that you might have had a lot of these conversations, and because I'm seeing these conversations kind of starting up for a while, happening, then you drop them for a while, and then they start again, and then they drop for a while, but they never ever come to any kind of a conclusion. It's very, very annoying. And each time they start, you're kind of hopeful. Oh, maybe this time I'll come to a conclusion. Maybe this time I'll have my say and they'll understand. And then, a decision's going to be made, but it never ever happens. It never has happened. And, I think you might have just come out of one of these conversations. Maybe that's why this is here. And I think you might have just walked away, actually. Maybe not physically, but you might have been thinking about how you'd achieve this on your own, how you'd come to this conclusion and do what you wanted by yourself without them. Or you might have even been thinking about being on your own. You might have been so frustrated that you thought, I'm just going to go and be on my own for a while. Now, I think, if you haven't already, you might actually walk away for a while. But if you do this, I think you are probably going to come back to this conversation again, because I don't think you've come to an end with this. I think you still want to have this kind of conclusion. You want to keep on talking about this. You don't like talking about it, but you want to have a conclusion. So I'm seeing you probably coming back to this again at some time. I don't think that's the last conversation you're going to have about this. But this is very frustrating. I'm feeling frustrated myself just seeing this. So the next card you have for your past is the Ace of Cups. So I don't think, obviously you're very emotional about this as well. This is a very emotional card, and I don't think this person understood why you were so emotional, or why you were so emotionally invested in wanting this outcome, or even any outcome would have been better than nothing, going round and round in circles, getting nowhere. It was really driving you crazy. You're getting very emotional about this. I also don't think they wanted a confrontation. I think they just wanted to let this drift on and on. And I'm just seeing them not wanting to come out and say what they wanted one way or another. It was like they might have just been, oh, no, I don't know, oh, maybe, oh, yes. And you're saying, well, let's make a decision. What do you want to do? I think we should do this. What do you think? Oh, let's talk about later. I don't know. Well. And they're kind of talking about things that have nothing to do with it, and kind of going off on all these silly kind of tangents. It's like, the old saying when you ask someone what the time is and they kind of tell you how to make a clock. It just kind of goes on and on and on. And you're like, look, I want to come to a conclusion. I want to make a decision. And it never actually happens. And it goes on and on. So I know I say on and on over and over again. So I'm like this person in this conversation. So Yeah, I'm just getting the sense as well that you felt that they weren't taking things very seriously, or maybe they weren't taking you very seriously. And I think this was in your last reading as well, something about not feeling as if you were heard. So maybe this is the same person again. And this card can be about healing as well, the Ace of Cups. So if you did actually walk away from this person, which is what I'm seeing you wanted to do, I think if you had already done this, you would have started to heal. I think this would have started this healing process inside you, but I keep on thinking that you'll be back again, or you want to come back again, so you wouldn't have started that. And this is kind of showing you that if you did get away from him, that's what you'd start doing. You'd start to feel a bit better, but I think you're just going to keep on going back and opening this up again and again, because you're kind of determined. And I just think it isn't easy for you to walk away. It really, really isn't. And even though a part of you definitely felt like walking away at this time, it's just not like you to do that. You don't give up on things. You don't give up on people. You keep on trying over and over again. You're a very loyal person. And especially, in love, you're very, very loyal. So you wanted to keep this going. You wanted to kind of have everyone happy with the solution, but it just wasn't working for you. It was very frustrating again. So the last card you have for your past is Strength. So obviously this woman in this card is taming a lion, as you can see. So, but if you look at this lion, it's like a pet to her. It's like a pet. It's like a little kitten or something like that. It's looking up to her. It's looking up to its owner. And, it would probably do anything she wanted. She could probably kind of say, roll over, I'll tickle you, go over there, go and fetch this bone. It would go running off and come back to her. So anything she said, this lion will do this for her. And she also has red roses wrapped around her. And red roses obviously can represent manifestation, wanting your wishes and, your hopes and your dreams to kind of materialize in the real world. So yeah, this is what you wanted to materialize, this conclusion. And you probably still do at this time, because I'm seeing you again going back for more of these conversations. But if this resonates, think about the way you've approached this with this person before. And I keep on seeing this cycle, this conversation going over and over and over again. And you probably approached all of these different conversations in the same way. And they probably did as well. I'm not blaming you, but obviously whatever you were doing wasn't working. So if what you were doing wasn't working, you're going to have to try to do something completely different. So you might have to approach this person in a different way, or you might just decide to do this on your own, come to this conclusion on your own and do what you want. Or you might think about deciding to do something totally different. But try and take a step back from all of this for a while and just think about whether this is what you truly want, or whether it's about coming to this conclusion and getting this done. Think about that. And, if it is what you truly want, try to think about some new ways to maybe approach this, because the answer might be something totally different. It might be something completely out of the ordinary. It might be something like you might talk to a different person again, and they might talk to them. Or you might show them in some way what you're talking about. Or you might just go and do this completely by yourself. It might be something like that. So the first card you have for your present is the Seven of Swords, yes. So this card can obviously be about cheating or being tricky, all sorts of kind of horrible things like that. Now, yeah, I'm seeing this is actually about you. I'm not saying that you're cheating, obviously, but this is about you trying to manifest this outcome, trying to get what you want. You really want to try and get what you want. That's what I keep on seeing. And yeah, this is what you want, because I'm seeing you wanting to revisit this conversation, do anything you can to try and get this kind of resolution or this conclusion. And not only a conclusion, but you do want a particular conclusion. You want it to be your conclusion, obviously. But if you're good, coming to a compromise, you'd still be happy with. You just want it to come to a conclusion, mostly. So yeah, the man on the, if you look at the man on this card, he has exactly what he wanted. He went out to go and steal these swords, and he took them away and went away with them. So he has 5 swords. And of course he's done the wrong thing to have them, he's stolen them. But he's had to leave 2 of these swords behind as well. And if you look at his head, it's turned back toward these swords as well. So this might be showing you that, to get what you want, you might have to make some sacrifices, or you might have to leave something behind, or you might even have to leave a person behind, someone behind. So yeah, what I'm seeing is, I'm sorry to say this, but you might get hurt in some way as well if you go after this thing, because this man's holding these swords and he's holding them by their blades. So obviously he's going to get hurt. I mean, he looks as if he's smiling now, but he won't be smiling when he hurts himself. So again, think very carefully about whether this is what you really truly want. And if it is what you really truly want, again, think even more carefully about the best way and the least painful way as well to do this for both you and anyone around you, even this person in the 5 of Swords. There are painful ways of going about this, and there are less painful ways, and it's up to you to kind of take a step back, is what I was seeing in the Strength card, and kind of think about all of these options. Think about options you never thought of before, again, new things. The next card you have for your present is, yes, the 3 of Swords. So yeah, nobody likes this card. So yes, if this is all resonating with you, you do have a lot going on in your mind right now. You have a lot of conflicting things, a lot of problems you have to solve, a lot of kind of things you have to sort out. I'm actually seeing 3 conflicting things that are kind of causing you different amounts of pain and worry at this time. You have this thing that you want to manifest. You want to manifest a certain outcome, and then you want to think about whether you want to let things or people go to get this, what you need to sacrifice. And then you have to think of the way that this person in the 5 of Swords has been treating you, because I think that's a big major thing. I mean, you do want a conclusion, you do want an outcome, you do care about this person as well, but the way that they've been treating you has really hurt you, because they know that you want this conclusion, they know you want this thing, but they're kind of stalling and dragging this around and around and around, and it's really hurting you. So yeah, they're just not giving you a clear answer. They're still not. So maybe you could also be wondering if this is all worth it really, or whether you should let this whole thing go even. You have a lot of decisions to make, and probably some very painful decisions as well. But if you look at the sword on this card, or the swords, the 3 swords, they're pointing down toward the earth. And also, if you look at the 2 swords left behind in the 7 of Swords, they're stuck into the earth. So this is showing me that you might, the decision you make, I can't say the decision, why can't I say that? The decision you make, the thing that you might do, this decision you might choose to make, might be the one that's going to bring you the most stability. Because if everything's pointing toward the earth, that's what it's telling me, that you're going to want something that's the most stable for you. And stability is what you really want deep down. That's what I'm seeing now. That's what you truly want. And that's one of the reasons why you were so upset by these conversations going around and around, because you were not feeling stable in that. You were not feeling stable with this person. You were feeling very unstable, very unsure of yourself and all of that. So that was really, really putting you into turmoil. That's what I'm seeing. So the last card you have for your present is the 7 of Cups. So yes, you have another very tricky card. This is a very confusing card as well. So again, this card can be about very difficult choices. It can be about very confusing choices. Now, obviously, this is not going to be easy, making this choice. It's going to be very painful as well. I'm seeing that again. And, the worst thing I think in this is that, the person that you'd really like to go to for help, the person who you'd really like to be able to rely on, the person who you were looking for stability in, isn't someone who you feel you can rely on. Because, you know, they have you going around and around in circles. Every time you go to have a conversation with them, it goes around in circles. So you can't rely on that person. And I think that's the hardest thing of all, coming to the realization that you can't rely on this person. And I think, you know, deep down, you probably know which thing or which person you want to leave behind. But obviously you're very emotional. You have the Three of Swords and you have the Ace of Cups in the same reading. So yeah, you're obviously very emotional, and I can see why in this whole reading. So that means it's very hard for you to actually make a decision when you're lost in your emotions. It's very, very hard for you to see clearly. That's what I'm seeing. So yeah, very, very hard. You have a lot to sort out. So the first card you have for your future is the Nine of Wands. So, you know, you're going to make this decision. Eventually you are going to make this decision. You are going to do this. So don't think that it's never going to happen. You are going to come out of this and some decision will be made. And again, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a decision that you might even be afraid to make. It is very scary, but you know, you're going to do it. You're going to do this. And I don't know if I should say this, but you might be leaving this person. You might be leaving this person behind. Now, you might have already left them behind, but I'm seeing that that's probably what's going to happen here. Because if you look at the man on this card, he has a bandage around his head and someone's been playing mind games with him. That's why. And, you know, he's put a kind of a barrier between him and whoever's hurt him as well. But he's coming out to face the world now. He's been through that and he's coming out to face the world. So it's not easy, but he's doing it. So again, if this resonates, this decision, obviously you know this, it's going to be painful. That's all over this reading. But whatever decision you make, it is going to be the right decision. It is going to be the right decision. So please don't stress about this. I know it's so painful, hurtful, and it also involves leaving someone behind, which is really horrible. But you are going to make the right decision. And yeah, you know, nobody wants to be around someone who plays with their mind. Nobody does, whether it's deliberate or not. It's really a horrible thing to be on the receiving end of, I know. These are wands. These are wands, these are actions. So you're moving away, you're moving forward. You're going to do that. You are going to do this. So the next card you have for your future is the Page of Wands. So yeah, of course, you're going to be feeling very emotional when you're making these decisions and after you've made this decision, obviously. Now you're probably going to be very up and down emotionally for a long time after this. So take your time, just be kind to yourself, let yourself feel these feelings and just work through them. And, you know, in time, I think you'll realize this decision is going to be, or has been, the right decision. And, you know, it's going to bring you a lot of freedom. It's going to bring you a lot of freedom to do things that you hadn't even thought of doing at all, ever. It's going to open up a lot of new options for you. Not just in love, but I'm seeing in work as well and in other areas as well. So you might be, you know, the pages are learning. They're learners. They're like students and they're kind of teenagers, really. So they're learning for the first time. So you might be learning something new. You might be studying something. And I think for the first time in a long time, you're going to just start to feel like you're looking forward to something, you're looking forward to learning, and you might feel excited, you might start to feel really enthusiastic again. I'm also seeing that someone is already around you. This is someone who looks up to you, and they're going to be very, very happy to see you feeling a lot better, a lot more excited, and, you know, more independent, and, you know, enthusiastic and happy. And I think this person is happier when you're happy. They feel happy to see you happy. So, and this is someone who looks up to you again. This is someone who's probably younger than you. They're around you. They're happy to see you happy. So I think you are doing the right thing by them as well, by making this decision. The last card you have for your future is the Queen of Swords. So yeah, the Queen of Swords, she's the ultimate independent woman. She is probably the most independent woman ever in this whole deck. And she's also very, very honest. She's very straightforward, and she's very confident. so you might not be feeling this yet. You're gradually building up your confidence, and eventually you're going to be very, very strong. And you're going to be very strong without this person around you. The Queen of Swords is by herself. Some people say she's a widow. She's been through a huge number of things, a lot of very bad things. But she's lived, she's been through them, she's learned. And that's how you're going to be. You're going to be like, I've been past it, I've gotten past all of this, and I've learned, I'm stronger, I'm wiser. And this Queen of Swords is very stable, she's very solid. She's also emotionally stable, and she's also put her emotions to one side. I'm not saying that you're going to be cold and that you're not going to be feeling any emotions at all, but you're going to be putting them into perspective. Because if you look at this Queen, I don't know if you can see, but I'll lift it up so you can see. You still might not be able to see because it's very tiny. Just behind, where that tree is, just behind her throne, there's a little river running down. So obviously there are some emotions in her life, but they're not taking her over. They're behind her. They're in the right place. So they're behind her, they're in perspective, and also her emotions are kind of smooth as well. They're running smoothly. There's no choppiness, there's no stress and all of that kind of thing. Her emotions aren't up and down. She's very strong emotionally. And so this is the stability that you were looking for. I'm seeing in the Three of Swords, I think it was, I said that you were looking for stability. And so this is what you're going to get. You're going to give that to yourself. And it's when you put your emotions aside, not aside, but put them into perspective, not perspective. And you're going to do all of that, and then you're going to be a lot more stable within yourself. Now, it's not going to happen quickly. It's going to happen very slowly. You're slowly going to grow into that. But, you know, I couldn't think of a better person to be than the Queen of Swords. I really could not.